All right, everybody, I've got a very special video for you today. Something showed up at my porch, and I wasn't expecting anything, so I need to figure out what's inside of this box right now. Let's get in there. Yeah, with the new expansion coming up, Whispers from the Maze, I'm pretty curious what Equinox is up to right now, sending out this little care package to me. All right. There's some packaging here. Let's see. Feels solid. Feels square. Holy cow. Woo-hoo-hoo. That is elegant. Whoa, let's get this out here. Let's see. Whispers from the Maze. Oh, wow. That is clean. I almost wish I could get like a playmat or some sleeves or something like this with like primarily gold and a little bit of, with primary black and a little bit of gold. I was even thinking for like the X-Salts team that we could maybe do something with this color scheme in the future, like a black jersey with a little bit of gold. Wow, I like that a lot. All right, the anticipation's killing me. I've got to get this open. Let's see exactly what's in here. Okay, what have we here? All right, starting off. Oh, look at those. Looks like they're like multi-toned or something. We've got 2 dice. All right. I'm definitely curious about what's in this little box here. Let's see. Oh, okay. Keep me guessing. Let's see what's in here. Whoa. Wow. That is really something. After reading an insert that came in the box, I found out that that was apparently a pendant echoing Lakshmi, the Phoenix Dancer. Apparently it was gifted by Nevenka herself, so I'm definitely lucky to get my hands on one. And underneath all of this is a lenticular artwork of Bliss. Whispers from the Maze introduces triptychs, which are combinations of 3 cards that when placed next to each other create a cohesive picture. So here we see the Bliss guitarist, Bliss drummer, and Bliss bassist. Kind of fun also seeing Fen and Crowbar all joining together to make a pretty epic image. I really like how you can see the common to rare progression of the arts as you rotate this. And this here is one of the things I was most interested in. I found out later that this is the Testament of Rune, faithfully recreated, still stained with the weight of prophecy, not quite a will, not quite a confession, a spiral of thoughts from a king who vanished to escape his own myth. I definitely got curious when I saw this, and maybe in a little bit we'll see if we can crack this code and figure out if it means anything, or if it's just Equinox trying to mess with us. I think these pre-release kits are really cool. I feel like it can make that first event you go to for a set just feel a little more special since you get this special kit now instead of just some packs. I'm excited to bust that open in a sec and give you a peek, and as well, we've got a ton of packs here that I'm super excited to open. I haven't even seen all of the cards yet for this set, so hopefully we'll find some cool spoilers in here, or maybe even some powerful uniques. Sadly, I wasn't able to do a full voiceover for this pack opening, but I think I'll just add some music and you can enjoy seeing some of the new cards from the set. But quick before I go, I want to share with you what I found as I tried to brainstorm what this Testament of Rune just might say. The patterns on this are pretty interesting. They're not like anything I've seen before. At first I started to wonder, could these possibly each be a word, or maybe are they letters that are like coded to spell out words, or are they just nothing at all and it's just something Equinox threw together to show us that some of the mysteries of the maze will just never be solved? After looking at this for a bit, I realized that whatever is written here must be going from left to right or right to left, but not up and down. The way the characters line up, you can clearly see that they form rows going from one side to the other, but if you go from top to bottom, they just don't line up that well. So I feel like that's starting to give us a direction to read this. Immediately, I also noticed that there was a lot of repetition in characters and even patterns of characters. This did make me think that this might be a little bit more decorative and not actually have a message here, but it did say in the insert that it was like a spiral of thoughts from a king who vanished, and so I was thinking maybe this could be like a poem, or maybe it is repetitive as he's just going back and forth on some of his thoughts, so I didn't want to completely give up yet. I did a little analysis and realized that the first 7 lines repeat exactly, and then the first 3 of those 7 lines repeats again. So if there is a message here, I started to realize it's probably going to be in the first 7 lines, and then it was just repeated over and over to fill the page. Next, I wanted to start looking at the characters a little more closely, and I even thought about trying to create like a letter or number code that each one could represent, so I could put it into something like ChatGPT a little easier. But as I tried to make this code, I realized that we have a lot of very similar symbols here that are just turned 90 degrees from each other. Even like the first 2 you can see is just the same shape rotated, and there are a lot of other symbols like that. That does make things a little trickier, because is one shape rotated just completely unrelated to the other, or is there something common between them? I wasn't really sure, but next I wanted to look for repeated patterns that had the exact same shapes in the exact same orientations. And at that point I realized that there was also repetition on every single line. There was some pattern of at least 4 characters that repeated exactly within that same line each time. This was another big clue that possibly this was just kind of maybe more quickly thrown together, and that it doesn't actually have a real message in it. But I was still curious if there was some sort of altered message at its core, like maybe each of these repeating patterns is like the name of one of the factions that's been coded like this. After thinking about it though for a minute, I didn't really find anything that would work. The lengths of the repeated patterns doesn't correlate exactly to the 6 faction names or like the word altered or any of the common phrases that I quickly checked, which doesn't mean that these aren't based off of some real word, but it would be pretty hard at this point to figure out what those could be. Also, there are a couple extra characters on a lot of the lines that are maybe just a rotated version, or for some reason are getting inserted into one of the patterns. So I'm not sure if somehow like these extra characters are actually the key, and for one way or another maybe like those spell a word, or they're supposed to be teaching us something. If any of you have any ideas, definitely let me know in the comments. At this point, I was feeling like I'd done about all I could on my own, so I turned this into a digital version that I could put online and see if my computer could tell me anything else about this message. I decided to assign each shape a number, and then I gave it a letter to represent the different orientations. After a while, I realized I didn't really have a way to know what was up, so I just said that A represented the first orientation I saw, and then went through B, C, and D afterwards. I think I'll throw that in the description because it makes this a little easier to work with, and if any of you are able to take that and crack the code, definitely let me know. At this point, I threw what I got into ChatGPT to see if it could figure out anything that I maybe missed, and it seemed to think that it was more likely that each of the characters, or maybe patterns of repeating characters, was associated with a message more than a direct letter-to-letter code. It did try and give me an interpretation, and I might as well share that with you now. What it wrote was, "I turned inward, a king reflecting. My world stood in order. Until I saw the weight of it, my thoughts began to spiral." Honestly, I was a little surprised. The king reflecting bit does match up with the description I saw in the box, and some of the other messages here, like thoughts spiraling, kind of relate to cards like Feast of Thoughts from the set. But was there actually a message here, and did chat get it right? I was pretty skeptical. With how repetitive the patterns are, and without anything to go off of, I think it's pretty unlikely there's a message here, and even if there is, I doubt I'll be able to figure it out on my own. But if you want to take a crack at it, be my guest and definitely let me know what you find. Now, I'll let you enjoy the rest of this pack opening. Wish me luck as I try to pull some good cards, and let me know in the comments which ones you're most excited about. Congrats if you made it to the end of this video. I hope you saw some cool cards from the set that'll fit well into your decks. I was honestly pretty surprised to get so many uniques. I think that had to be above average. Hopefully I'll find at least one of them that I can fit into one of the decks I'll be running. If you enjoyed seeing a sneak peek into Whispers from the Maze, definitely leave a like, and if you want to see more content around this new set, make sure to subscribe to my channel. I can't wait to keep exploring it in the coming months and start getting ready for the World Championship qualifiers. You can try out demo decks for Whispers from the Maze on Board Game Arena right now, and I'll include a link in the description to make pre-orders from Gamers Guild. Doing so really supports the channel. Good luck at the pre-releases and in your pack openings. Thanks for watching.